screw up. Yay, us. Should work. It's coming, it's coming. Wrong, you're live. Can you hear us?
Yes, and see video.
Wonderful, thank you.
We can hear y'all too. You're on the big screen.
Woo!
Good. Hey, Roger.
I guess I'm unmuted.
Roger.
Yes.
Oh, good. I dropped out for a while, but back again. So
Who am I speaking to?
this is Adair.
Oh, there. Okay. I don't see
Uh-huh.
I don't see your
Um,
I don't see your beautiful face.
I don't know where it is.
I'm gonna mute everyone online.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of What Can Go Wrong at Conway Rotary. Chris, I believe you're going to say the prayer and invocation or in pledge.
And for all the gifts you have given to the people in the Lord, help each person you can give to honor you and the glory. Father, please do with the men and women in the military as well as the church choir. Help them feel the respect that they deserve in our community.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I appreciate everyone being here today. Those of you online, what you missed was the computer and TV were not working, weren't communicating. Everything on the TV was completely unplugged. So we have spent the last 25 minutes or so trying to get the technology working so that you all could join us online. So we're finally here. We appreciate everyone who is here. So one of the changes I emailed out last night was an issue or difficulty with last week. Miss Tony is preparing us food inside Rotary now as part of the buffet for our members to pick up, and we pay a minimum price for that. And then when our members who are online come through and get food at the restaurant next door, we're either having to pay individually per meal there, or Miss Tony graciously took that cost for us last week since it was an unforeseen issue. So those of you online, we would love for you to come get your meal. Show up anytime, 11:20 or after on Thursdays. You can come through the buffet here in our side room and get your food if you're social distancing. If you come at 11:20, probably no one's going to be here but you. And that'll give you the opportunity to go through first. October 24th is World Polio Day. I've been reading a polio fact a week for the past month. So today's facts are interesting people who have had polio. So one is Alan Alda. He was born in 1936. He was an actor that played on MASH. He contracted polio at the age of 7. His parents gave him a treatment developed by Sister Elizabeth Kinney, where hot woolen blankets were applied to his limbs and the muscles were stretched by massage. We have a charger for this. Mia Farrow was an actress born in 1945. She was appointed the Goodwill Ambassador in 2000. She campaigns in a fight against polio. She collapsed on her 9th birthday. She was diagnosed with polio 2 days later. She stayed in the hospital for 8 months, and she was given an iron lung to maintain her breathing. Gianni Russo, born in 1943, he was the actor that played Carlo Rizzi in the 1972 movie The Godfather. He contracted polio at age 7. He spent 5 years in a state hospital. And then Donald Sutherland, born in 1935, he contracted polio as a child. And while bedridden, he developed his love for reading. He later became an actor and has appeared in over 130 films. So there's your polio facts for this week. We are in the middle of our Reef fundraiser. That link will go out Monday with the rest of the announcements. Ben, any deadlines or anything we need to know about?
November 4th.
First week of November is our deadline to get them ordered. They'll be here in plenty of time to use for a long time over the Christmas celebrations. The price has not gone up from last year. So buy your wreath, support the club. There will be a virtual professional development leading through Zoom, effective team management. This is hosted by the Jeff Ferris Leadership Academy. More information will be sent out on that as well. Yeah, can't see you. Do you want to give any more information on that?
So the guarantee our district governor, we want to do something special on the year when Jeff not in session. So we want to have 4 years of virtual development opportunity. And I'm on the board and I'm chairing the board for the next 2 years. So we have a panel of speakers, including Dan Troop, Secretary Smith, and Gina Radke. And they're going to talk how the government, healthcare, and the private manufacturing business got affected by COVID-19, what changes they made. It will be this coming up Tuesday from 12 to 1. And I can send you the flyer, or of course, it will send you the link. So I hope you all can do the live stream.
Okay, so those on Zoom that couldn't hear that, Tuesday, 12 to 1, there will be the professional development hosted by the Jeff Ferris Leadership Academy. More information will go out Monday for that. Next week's speaker is Dr. Houston Davis from UCA. We'll be continuing our college month by hearing from Dr. Davis, and we're looking forward to that. And I will have Aimee come up. She needs no introduction. So she can tell you a little bit about what she's been doing, some of her new moves. Is that good?
That works.
Okay.
Hey, all right. Good to be here. Good to be back up here. Good to be in public. So thank you for that. Many of you, I'm sure most of you know that I have made a career change, and I am now the executive director of the Conway Public Schools Foundation. And I made that move in February. Well, we all know what happened in March. And so it was kind of a fun, scary time to move and change jobs. So you see me, Ben? I know they can't see me. So
There you go.
there we go. Okay, sorry. So being part of the foundation already has just been an extreme pleasure of mine to be able to get to do, because I'm not only, our sole mission of the foundation, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, the Conway Public School Foundation was founded in 2007. And it was founded because community members knew that the teachers needed support, and the teachers needed to be able to, there's always additional funding that's needed with the teacher. If you know a teacher, you understand that there's a lot of pocket expense that comes out of their own pockets, for activities or for programs. And so they saw that need, and then they formed. It is slowly growing over the years. And let me tell you, they have done a phenomenal job of getting this program, this foundation, off and running. They are, just to give a little bit of history, they are, because of folks like Conway Corporation and the Adcock family and some of the other core supporters, their foundation is already over $800,000 in their endowment. The goal, our first goal, is going to be, obviously, is $1 million. We want to hit that within the next year or two. So they did a huge job of getting that going. So we thank them very much for the support. Our mission, our goal, again, is just about the educators and the teachers. Used to, our mission, our tagline was helping teachers help students. That's kind of evolving the more that we talk, because one thing that we're seeing is not only teachers applying for grants, we're seeing social workers now apply for grants that are within the school. We're seeing counselors apply for grants. So it's not that traditional teacher anymore. So we're kind of changing that tagline to helping educators help students. And that's our mission and that's our goal. Just a couple of things that we do. Kind of in the past, we've been able to give out grants each year. Teachers apply for these grants. Those grants go directly to their classroom. And we've given out on average, I would say $7,000 to $10,000 each year. So we're very excited. You guys are the first official group to hear this besides the teachers themselves, but we were able to provide $18,000 to teach, a little over $18,000 this year. That's a big step. You know, this is a scary time and it's like, why in the world are you doing more? And the reason is we saw the need for more. The applications that came in this year were different. Everybody knows COVID makes everything look different. The needs were different. The asks were different. A teacher now has 2 classrooms with 2 separate needs. You know, you've got half your students in class, you've got half of your students out of, you know, learning virtual, and there's different needs. So we saw that. And the board and staff, which is me, you know, we talked and we said, we want to do more. We really want to step up and show the teachers that we understand there's a special need this year. So we have talked to several people in the community who have helped us with that additional funding. You'll hear more about those soon. But we knew the need. So 18,000, and just to kind of put that into perspective of how much that helps folks and who that helps, I feel like they can't see me, I'm sorry. That money was able to help over 35 teachers this year. A lot of teachers kind of go together to ask for grants, but 35 teachers and almost 6,000 students. That's a big deal. You know, to be able to impact 6,000 students from our foundation, that's a big deal. And we were very excited to do that. You know, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the teacher grants that we do each year. One teacher came to me afterwards and she said, Aimee, I applied for the first time this year and I'm so excited because I got a grant. I'm like, yay, well, what did you apply for? Because I don't see the grants. I let a committee do those out. And she said, and she told me what it was. And it was a particular program for her GT class where it was like a hands-on. Well, the company had sent her a kind of a trial, you know, to see if it's something her kids liked, and they did. They adored it. It was really something that was, it was very innovative. And she told the class, elementary school. So she said, I told them what a grant was. I told them I was applying for it. I told them I'm hoping to get money to fund this. The next day, one of her 4th graders came up to her and gave her $10 of his own money. You know, it was that important to him that we get that in the classroom, and we were able to do that. So that was really exciting to hear that we impacted, you know, a 4th grader that he wanted to give his own funds. So how do we do it? How do we raise the money? You know, that's always the magic question. We have a lot of new programs. We have our endowment, which again, I said was a little over 800,000 currently. And that's where the grant money comes from. But the new ways that we have that the community can help support, we have started this year what's called a Community Partners Program. That community partner, it's already kind of jumped, and I'm really excited about people that have already jumped on that. I've got Frauenhoven Heating and Cooling, Ferris Agency, Bledsoe Chiropractic. I mean, I just had a few asks and people were excited to be a part of that program. There's 2 levels. There's $1,000, which is the superintendent level, and then there's a $500 level, which is the principal level, which an average grant's about $750. So you can see how much that would fund. But what that comes with is a decal for your window that says, I support Conway Public Schools Foundation. I support teachers. I support educators. And so you can also show your support of our organization. We have a fantastic new website that we've just recently launched. I ask that you all go on there and check it out. It's so pretty and so user-friendly and mobile-friendly. And it just kind of shows the different things that we're doing, you know, with the teacher impact grant, Hall of Honor, which I'll talk about, and everything. That community partner program is just really going to be, I think, something that the community wants to show teachers that, hey, we support you. We want you to know that we're there for you. One of the most fun things that we've recently started that I hope you've seen if you're on Facebook is Teacher of the Week. I don't know if you really, truly can grasp what a teacher is doing right now, but it's incredible. I've been I say it's kind of been an honor, but I've been subbing in elementary school this year. And wow, I knew I've got two kids, one that's in elementary, one that's out of high school. And I always appreciate, I'm married to a teacher. I've always appreciated them, but I didn't really understand that relationship between a teacher and a kid. I'm a sub and they want to hug you and they bond with you and you have so much influence on their lives. It's incredible. These teachers do. So it's been really an honor for us to be able to do a Teacher of the Week program where you can nominate. We had it up one day, we had over 70 folks nominate a teacher. I mean, that was really cool. Now we have a little over 250 and it's been going this will be our 5th week to do it. You can go on there, you can say my wife, my husband, you can say my son's teachers, it could be a student, a teacher. We have everybody that are putting in these, why, here's a teacher and why. And then we pick one a week that we just go out and say, thank you. Patty Cakes is a partner with us on that. And we give them 2 dozen cookies. We give them a mug that says Teacher of the Week. We just say thank you. Because it's a little bit, but it goes a long way. And they've really, really enjoyed seeing one. Who's it going to be? We do a little live feed every week on Facebook on our page, and so we've already see people starting to chime in and look to see what school we're going to be at. And that has just been, that's not tied to funds. That's just our appreciation for what they do. And so that has been a fun one. Another one that we are doing is a teacher recognition program, which is similar but different. It is a little bit tied to funding. It's where I can go on as a parent or an administrator can go on, or again, the same group of people, a student, and I can thank someone by giving funds. So I can choose the $10 option, which will come with an email, certificate and notification that they were recognized at this level. And those levels kind of build. So you can imagine them, the higher the level, the more that they'll receive. The $100 level is an actual award. And so they'll be able to collect, if they get very many of them, that says you've been recognized at the such and such level by the Collin Public Schools Foundation nomination. So it's going to really, it hasn't started yet. It's coming soon. And I hope this week or next, you'll see that roll out. And it's just another way, one, to thank the teachers, but two, if you've ever had the thought of what do I give a teacher? Do I give them another basket? Do I give them apples? How many lotions can you have? Kind of thing, those traditional gifts that you want to give. This is a fabulous way because I can donate $25 and then that $25 not only recognizes them, but comes back to them in the form of a grant. So that's pretty fun and we're excited about that. Hall of Honor, I'll talk about the courtyard first. Another way that you can give that helps is a brick program. The brick program's been around. It's in the courtyard of the new high school. And it's great, it is beautiful. But this year we've said, we want to be able to sell sponsorships for those and in order for someone to honor a group of people. So we have 3 right now, and those are like Belda Looters. I'm sure most of you know who Belda is, and she is going to sponsor the top 10 senior baseball players. We have another group that's going to give a brick to the top 10 minority students that graduate in 2021. And Community Bank is actually going to be one as well, and they're going to sponsor the top 10, not the top 10, all of the teachers of the year, which Conway Corp also does a donation, huge partnership with us on their classroom grant and that as well. So those are exciting and growing. So if there's a way that your business or you personally would like to get involved, those are ways. Kind of some down the pipe things that we're working on and as an alumni association. Are any of you Conway grads? What? Wow. Okay, never mind. We'll just move on past alumni for this group. But we'll have some fun stuff happening in that as well. Hall of Honor will be probably the last thing I talk to you guys about today, but Hall of Honor is our largest fundraiser. Many of you in here also are sponsors for that, and we appreciate you. And what it is designed to do is to honor, we have 3 categories. One of them is the the Distinguished Alumni, which none of you will receive this year. The second one is the Distinguished, there's 3. There's an Educator, So a former educator of the Conway Public Schools will receive one, and then someone from the community, a distinguished community member. So we have those 3 areas that we honor each year. That's our largest fundraiser. As you can imagine, and with both the things, we won't be having that this probably spring, or at least it will not look like it has over the past several years. So we're in the talks, as with everybody else who does fundraisers, of what that's going to look like. Is it going to be a hybrid of virtual and in person, just virtual? Who knows? We'll see. So be looking for that. But there are ways you can help with that. Vance has already helped me out a little bit, is by nominating people. You know, we know people who did go to Conway Public Schools, or maybe someone our children have had as an educator. They had to be removed from the school for 5 years. Or if you know someone in the community who's deserving of the award for the community member. So I encourage you all to go on and to nominate folks for that. You know, we will definitely want a good pool to look through. The way the funding for that works is, as you know, traditionally fundraisers work. It's, you know, it's a dinner, it's a, you know, they come and they're able to give. We're gonna have some surprises this year, so we're kind of excited about what that will change, but it's coming. So those are kind of really fast who we are, what we do, and how we do it. This is the first group I've spoken to about it, so it's been kind of, I guess that's a good, you know, way to start, is with people that you know and who aren't judging you too harshly. So I appreciate you listening. Are there any questions? And I'm sure questions will spark other things. What? Come on, I want to be out here early.
How much did you say your endowment was?
Our endowment, let me see if I can tell you exactly. I can look and see if that's on our page. Shelley may be able to answer that for me if she's there. Let's see if it shows on here. It's a little over 800,000. We're about 80% of our goal of $1 million. It doesn't list it on the new site. And the way that works, I mean, probably most of you know, but the money that goes into the endowment, then what we get back from that each year is what we turn around and put out for grants. And that number changes depending on, you know, what the climate is of the stock market and investment there. But so far, we've been very, very grateful with the money that we've gotten back on that. The goal of growing that to $1 million is solely to go back to the teachers and solely to go back to the school district. You know, we usually get lots of grant requests that we can't fund. And there's several reasons. Maybe they didn't fill out the form completely. Maybe they, you know, it wasn't something, but a lot of times it's just because we don't have enough funding. And so one thing that we're doing too is we're starting to reach out to people to cover certain things, like, hey, we couldn't fund this because of X, Y, or Z, but this fits your mission and your goals at your organization. Can you help us with that? So you'll hear, you know, probably from me, if you haven't already, some requests for things like that. One of those this year is the hygiene closets. You know, that's not a request that we've had before. We've not had a request to help with food for the students, and that's a new request, and really a greater request than ever because of the COVID situation and more students being at home. Because as you know, a lot of kids don't eat unless they're at school. And so that's been a larger than usual need. So we've reached out, and I can't officially say it yet, but I think that we've got someone who's going to help us cover that for the middle schools. So that's going to be in addition to those things. That's what as well. Ben?
I mean, I was just gonna say 2 things. One, you may have to switch to gallery view, or people online may just have to ask if they have questions.
Okay.
And I guess my question would be, I guess the Conway Foundation covers K through 12, like we all do grants to kindergarten and high school, or?
Actually, preschool through 12, because Conway Public Schools does have a preschool, Sally Cone, which is here. It's over where, well, it used to be Sally Cone Elementary, but it is a preschool. So they are in that as well. So we are pre-K through 12. Yeah.
Is y'all's endowment going to be through the community foundation, or do y'all have your own?
Yeah, community foundation. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I'll just take this time too to brag on our board. We have a fantastic board. They are probably, it's just incredible. It's been incredible to work with. And so I always want to give a shout out. Drew Spurgers is our president this year. He is a go-getter like I've never seen, you know. And Chanel Ely is our vice president. And we have just a tremendous board, hardworking board. And I also encourage you to go online and see who all our board members are. because I think almost everybody in here is represented from the organization. If you're not, come see me. We'll get some on there. Any other questions? Anybody on the Zoom? No? Well, oh, I forgot to mention, one of the biggest things. Another way we're partnering with you, with the community, is diversity books and inclusion books. That's something we've never done before, but we saw a need for it again, and we said, how can we be part of that? And so we have partnered with Conway Rotary, as well as Trisha from the kitchen store. And we are going to, here within the next probably 2 weeks, we have been able to purchase at least 5 books for every library in the Conway Public School System that are specific to that. And, you know, some people may ask, is that, you know, something that's really needed? And I wasn't in the classroom. It was my first class that I was in, and it was a 3rd grade classroom. And they were having reading time. And one little boy, I was like, you know, what are you reading? Let me know. And he picked up his book, and it was on Jackie Robinson. He goes, I'm reading this. I love to read about other Black men. And I was like, bam. I mean, again, it just hit me because, yes, you know, it wasn't something that maybe was on the forefront thought of my mind before, but yes, it is needed. And I didn't tell him that we were doing that, but I did. I said, you know what? You know, I'm more part of a group, calling it Rotary group, and we're buying you guys some more books. And they were like, yeah, it's already made a difference, and it hasn't even hit their shelves yet. So they are going to be appreciative, but that you'll see some more press releases on that in the next week or two when we actually get to distribute those. Our funds for Rotary are going to the junior high and the middle schools. That's who we're funding. And then the kitchen store did the funding for the elementary. Vance?
And you have someone that either volunteers as or paid employee that's a grant writer for the local foundation.
Me. And it's funny you should mention that. We actually talked about that this morning, and we have a meeting the next week or two with board members that are going to help and us look at other grant opportunities that we could get to fund some of that stuff. Currently, you're looking at the staff. I mean, and I'm a part-time staff member at that. So you can imagine we've got a lot of work to do. That's what, again, I can't brag on the board enough because they are definitely on it. But we had that conversation, Vance, today. Looking into that.
Aimee,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Are you a separate foundation under 5013, or are you part of the community foundation?
We are our own foundation, 501c3, but our foundation funds are through the community foundation.
I didn't hear that last part.
Our money is through the community foundation, but we are our own 501c3.
Okay. That's hybrid then.
Exactly. Our work. Anything else? Well, thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate it. If you have any questions after this, please, you know, my cell phone is also my office phone. My office is my house, so I'm free most time to holler. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you for talking, Aimee. I appreciate everyone who's coming in person, who's getting out and trying to live life as normal. It's much easier for us as a board and your Rotary leaders to actually have faces we're talking to. And all you Zoom people who are bearing in there with all the technology issues, I know you probably can't hear questions, and we currently have 2 cords running out of the computer, so we can't turn you to see the audience, but Ben and I are working on making this easier week after week as we figure out what the problems are and figure out solutions. So hopefully by the end of this, it'll work seamlessly and everyone will be able to hear and see the entirety of the meeting. So we know you're having issues. I appreciate those of you who reached out after last week's meeting to tell us what you could and couldn't hear. And we'll just keep trying to work together to get better, to make this more efficient and to live in this new norm that we're living in, which I think is frustrating for everyone. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Carrie Lynn. Please do. Yes.
I just want to share whatever, the personal update that I have moved back to North Central Arkansas. And I'm gonna miss everyone so dearly. That's where I'm from. That's where my family is. So I'm gonna be transferring to the Rotary Club of Mountain Home.
Aww.
glad to still be a part of Rotary, the Rotary family, but I'm gonna miss every year dearly. It really enriched my life so much from this club. Just wanted to share that with everyone.
Well, the question, how's that gonna affect my work?
I'm
Hey, listen, we've had a relationship for a long time now.
still working for Arbit remotely.
Okay.
The beautiful white river. So I'm still doing. Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. We're definitely gonna miss you. You've been a big part of Rotary. And I guess also while we're talking about member announcements, those of you who are Facebook friends with Ed, he posted an announcement that his cancer, the leukemia he has struggled with, has returned for a third time. And he just found out last month, made the announcement just a couple days ago. So I don't know that we're going to be seeing a lot of him in the upcoming days, but keep him in your thoughts and your prayers. I know that he could use it, and I know he told me he's just going to spend the next little bit with his family, with his daughter. But we hate to see that. I know that the club has seen him struggle through that.
And he's also changed jobs.
He has changed jobs. Yes, so Ed is no longer with the Commerce either, the Chamber. Any other announcements? Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. John, I see you. What do you have?
Yeah. Thank you, Courtney. Just want everyone to know if you see fire department personnel at our corner at Peace Lutheran Church at Dave Ward and Donaghy, everything's okay. They are doing training on our 2 old buildings that are decommissioned and are going to be demolished pretty soon. And we wanted to let them practice and train search and rescue and all that kind of good stuff on our 2 buildings. So if you see firemen there, everything's fine and dandy. Eventually we'll be replacing those buildings. We're in the middle of a capital campaign, but we just want to help the firemen as they serve our community and they train so that they can serve our populace even better.
Thanks, John. All right, if everyone will stand, we'll adjourn with a 4-way test. Of all the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?